Hey guys, it's Tom Miller here. So I'm just shooting this quick video. I'll try and go through it fairly fast, and it's basically the transition status as of 2015 July. Now also, I'm just only shooting this video. This is stuff I've been working on behind the scenes for a long time, about 2 years. So I'm only putting these ideas out there to help your brain tick over and to empower you to the possibilities that are available in your life, okay? So here's the problem. The problem is there's a lot of problems, okay, and I'm probably not on the ball completely. You're probably going to have a lot of, we're talking about concepts that are, there's a lot of propaganda that's been out there, and there's a lot of deep ingrained thought that people blindly think things without really thinking it through. But here's one of the problems, one of the main problems. Too many people owe debt money. People are paying interest on money that was created out of debt, okay? Now that might not make a lot of sense to you guys. But you're probably seeing now in the news that there is a lot more people talking about money crisis. Wow, Greek is in a money crisis at the moment. People can only get out 60 euros per day in the ATMs there, okay, and that's just going to happen more and more until humans think up solutions. So one of the issues is there's actually not enough money in circulation for everyone to pay back their debts. So what that means is that if everyone tried to pay back their debts all in one day, or at any time, there wouldn't actually be enough money for them to pay it back. And if you don't believe me, or it's not really up for you to believe me or anything, this is just really the case, watch the documentary The Money Fix. One of the main commentators is Bernard Lietaer, who was one of the principal architects on the euro. And very aptly, we're having the euro crisis. We've heard about the euro. So he's got a lot of knowledge, and he is one of the main basically creators of that documentary. So watch the documentary The Money Fix. This map, by the way, there'll be a link below this video where you can click on this map, and if you click on this button right here, you can actually go and watch that video, that documentary yourself. If you click on here and open it up, you can go and watch the documentary The Money Fix right here. It's this second video right here. So really powerful, give you a deep understanding of what money really is. And another problem is dependency on one financial system, okay? So there's plenty of solutions though, okay? And it's up to our own creativity. Okay, so note, the solutions are up to our own creativity about this whole process. I'm just going to zoom in. I'm just going to put a few solutions out there. I'm definitely not, haven't put all the solutions or anything, okay? This is up for our own creativity and our own way to solve these solutions. One way is new currency systems. Another way is all the technologies found on the Transition Foundation page. So if you go up to the top, click on technologies, definitely worth understanding all of these technologies. Open source ecology, really powerful. Permaculture, fairly powerful. Tesla battery is just an example of what energy storage is at now. Decentralization technologies, extremely important to understand. Welcome to the Web 3.0, the age of decentralization and self-governance. The Ethereum project is the second largest crowdsourced project ever, raising $18 million, and they've already launched a beta version. This will completely revolutionize the way the web is used, and as the Transition Foundation specializes in this change, you are going to get first-hand experience of how to use this technology in your life. Really powerful. I know I'm going to be throwing so many different ideas at you right now. Something else that's really important is online collaboration, shared working spaces, mind mapping, anything cloud-based. Move away from emails, guys. That's sort of like very old, archaic way of talking on the internet. And as the money dries up, we have to turn to each other, or turn to other value tracking systems, and learn how to create value from the ground up, from real assets, okay? You grow a pear, you can sell a pear. So that includes, and if you don't really understand why, we're still living in a bubble. There's going to come up to a certain point, maybe in 5 or 6, 7 or 10 years time, where there's actually people that don't have enough money in the industrial money system. Just remember, we've been using this current money system for about 400 years. So you'd think that with all the technology now that we'd start be doing things a little bit different. It is just a tool, money. And so at the moment, as the money dries up, and if you don't fully understand that, then definitely go and watch that documentary again by one of the principal architects of the euro. So probably pretty important. He's got a lot of credibility in that documentary. It's not just some wacko documentary. Okay, So as there's going to come a point where people don't have enough money to buy products or services, and so they need to do value exchange and be able to exchange value in other ways. So maybe that might be that they, basically start learning new skills and become more valuable in other ways. I mean, another great example is Uber has ordered automated driverless cars, like thousands of them, to be basically created by 2020, meaning that all those Uber drivers will basically be out of a job. So that's what's going on there with the driverless cars. So it's really up to you guys to really start getting new skills. And the skills that are needed, open source ecology workshops. So another whole part of it will be people, open source ecology, if you haven't looked at that, go and check it out on the technologies page. 3D printing, produce made from farms or sustainable education centers, self-perpetuating open source sustainable education centers or campuses. So you're not sure what that is. Basically what we're doing is creating systems or processes. Now this is a very broad look at it all, okay? And you've probably got many questions, but basically creating to the point, and this is what humans have done very successfully, where you put energy in, plus you add some creativity from humans, and you basically get self-perpetuating sustainable education centers, which can produce excess profit in other ways, okay? Great example is the wind farms. Another great example is oil, okay? Except the only problem with oil is that there is another cost. The other cost is that it does destroy the ozone layer and puts too much CO2 in the atmosphere, and there's a lot of poisons that come off from that. So obviously that's not a good one. Whereas building wind farms, there's not an environmental cost. Apart from, there might be a lot of manufacture of generators over the years might cause some other sort of issues that we haven't thought about, but we'll see. So I'm just more shooting this. Okay, so these open source self-perpetuating sustainable education centers, they will serve as a catchment for people who can't afford but can become empowered, can't afford to buy into these with the archaic industrial financial system we use at the moment, but can be empowered and provide skills to on these centers and create their own micro businesses, okay? So that then they're self-perpetuating, they can take the whole template of the education center and run it somewhere else. So e.g., another way, just an example of how this can happen, is a grandma. In fact, I'll come back to that in a second. So again, it's up to our own creativity on how this is possible, and the real solution is to unlock humans' creativity, to empower the human brain. Okay, and we've got all these tools, visualization softwares, all sorts of things that we can use to do that now. If somebody who keeps the ideas just in their head all the time, will never really get it out there and get other people excited about the idea or cause anything to happen. So I'm just going to talk through a few other things. The Transition Foundation focuses on open civilization products or open civilization tools, and you can find out more information by going to opencivilization.org. And that's just the start of another whole business that some good friends are creating. So that's one part of it. We also focus on the self-perpetuating sustainable education centers, which I was just talking about. Another part is connecting communities, so social networks for local communities. So this is basically a set of tools. And we're focusing on Woolloongabba and West End at the moment, and these are entire maps which I'll shoot other videos on. But if we go into this Connecting Communities map, basically it's tools, there's some voting systems in there, there's social networking systems and currency systems. So that's another part of it all. I can't really go too much in depth about all of this right now because I want to keep this fairly short. But I'll go into an example of the Woolloongabba. This is just a transparent map, by the way, guys, so you can see. So we're doing an app. It's a social networking app, and we have these business sponsorship programs, and then we have these new community roles that we need to be, and there's neighboring communities there, and where extra money will be spent, promotion strategies. So I'm just sort of so you can pique your interest, so you've got a lot of different new ideas to think about. So that's just the status of a lot of different things that are happening at the Transition Foundation as of 15th of July 2015. Another thing that we are looking at is setting up a charity where, you know, potentially people could invest in the charity, or even people could, you know, submit some of their superannuation to the charity, so that the charity can set up these education centres, and in exchange, hopefully we can set up the documentation that people who invest their superannuation could receive a limited dividend on businesses that are created from that Sustainable Education Centre, so, such as an open source ecology workshop. So say, for instance, we go and build one of these open source ecology machines through the Open Civilization guys here, then we could charge, you know, X amount of money for the workshop, you know, maybe $500 per workshop. Now the cool thing about that, and same vice versa with 3D printing or produce created or consulting, the cool thing about that is it's a way for people to make real money. Micro businesses are created, and for example, like the grandma who breaks her blender down the road, she can easily walk down to an innovation hub and get a new blender parts printed. So these are the sort of the new age businesses that will be able to spawn from all this. And the cool thing is that, you know, it's going to be a safer way for people to invest their superannuation. So if we can get the documentation right, and we can organize things like that, then we could, you know, basically organize that type of stuff. I see we can try and do these types of things in heavily populated areas, but I see that it might cause a lot of issues because of regulation and just living too close to people, and it might be easier to move further out. So there's 3D printing, there's aquaponics, there's a bunch of different values or value that can be given. Alright guys, so sorry, I apologise for the video being a little bit too long, but I've tried to just give a little sum up. Definitely check out the website from time to time, because I'll put out new status updates, and I'll send an SMS or an email out every time I put up a new video. And definitely check out the YouTube channel for future videos, and speak to you soon. And if you, the other thing is, if you've got some great ideas, definitely give us a call, get in contact, and we can go through the process of seeing what's possible. Otherwise, you know, definitely just I empower you 100% to go out there and share your ideas with other people. Cheers, guys.